Welcome to Sports Talk New York, and I am your host, Matt Palizzi. All right, wow, what a lousy weekend for the New York teams. Between the Giants, Jets, and Bills, yeah, it was 0-3. But, all right, let's get to the games and talk about the three New York teams, and then I'll get to the rest of the schedule of the games. All right, the first game of the week was Cowboys-Giants. And obviously, the Giants lost 20-15. That game. The game was. It felt like the Giants had a chance throughout here and there, but I guess they just never. They just never really did. So we'll go through the things here. We'll start with the Cowboys. The Cowboys got themselves back on track again. Dak was 22 of 27, 221 yards, 2 TDs, no picks. You had Dallas rushing with Rico Dowdle, 11 rushes for 11 attempts for 46 yards. Elliott 5 for 19. CeeDee Lamb had 3 for 8, and then you had Hunter Lipko. He had 2 for 8. And Dak was negative yards when it came to rushing. All right, so you go to receiving. Brandon Cooks, 1 for 16. Dwaddle, 1 for 15. Elliott, 1 for 5. Jake Ferguson, 7 for 49. CeeDee Lamb, 7 for 96 with a touchdown. And obviously Rico Dowdle had a touchdown. You had Hunter and Jalen Tolbert, 2 for 14, 3 for 24. That was pretty much it for Dallas. It was just never. The Giants never really had a chance. Even though it felt close and it felt like at times you're like, oh my God, are they going to pull this off? Yeah, it was just, it was amazing that the Giants were ever that close. But, all right, let's get back down to the Giants and what they had. All right, so Daniel Jones was 29 for 40 for 281 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. The Giants for rushing, it was pretty much Singletary, 14 for 24. The rest was nothing major. Yeah, it was probably the best I've seen the Giants look besides that, first half of that Cleveland game. Let's see, you had Malik Nabers, who was 12 for 115, probably one of his best games. You had Wan'Dale Robinson, 11 for 71. Darius Slayton, 3 for 56. So the receiving was definitely better. Nothing really major for them. So Cowboys win that one. So now let's go back to here. Alright, so now we go to the Jets. They were the next game. As you can see, the Jets just were not good at all. I don't know what happened, but I'll get to that in a minute. Alright, so Broncos. Bo Nix, 12 of 25, 60 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. You had, let's see, who was their main? Okay, so you had Javonte Williams, 16 for 77, and McCollum, 9 for 46. For rushing, receiving was awful. Cortland Sutton, he was their best one, 3 for 60. This is how bad this game was. This game was very, very bad. It was incredible how bad. All right, so now you go to the Jets. Let's get it to click over here. Come on. There we go. All right, the Jets. Now, Aaron Rodgers probably had a decent game. Not as good as he could have, but decent with these circumstances. Aaron Rodgers was 24 of 42, 225 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Let's see, Breece Hall did absolutely nothing. 10 attempts for 4 yards. That's nothing. That's garbage. Braylon Allen was 8 for 34. It just was a really, really garbage game. It was pretty much whoever wanted it more, whoever was surviving the better. It was pretty much how it went. Yeah, you had. And when you know Mike Williams has the most yardage, you know that's how bad of a game it was. But he was 4 for 67. Allen Lazard was 5 for 58. Wilson was 5 for 41. It was just absolute crud. So yeah, the Broncos hold on to win that game, 10-9. Look at this. Look at this. First quarter, fumble, punt, 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 fumble. It was just bad, and that was just the first quarter. You go to the second quarter. Okay, field goal there. Punt, punt, punt. It was just awful. Field goal. It was just absolutely awful. So yeah, Denver wins 10-9 and was an absolutely awful game. Let's see here. All right, now we'll go to the game from last night. This was absolute trash. It was absolutely horrible. The Ravens just destroyed the Bills. The final score was 35-10, and it was probably never even that close, even though it felt closer at times. But it was just, yeah, it was awful. That was one of the worst games I've seen with this team. It was just bad. But, all right, so Josh Allen, 16 for 29, 180 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Trubisky came on late. He was 1 of 2 for 2 yards. Allen, 5 for 21. Never even got it going rushing. Cook was 9 for 39. It was just awful. Receiving, Keon Coleman probably had one of his better games. 3 for 51. It was just Kincaid, 5 for 47. And Shakir, 4 for 62. It was just never really that great. Alright, so let's get this thing to move so it's not freezing up on me. Alright, and then we'll go Ravens, because Ravens just absolutely dominated this game. You've got Lamar Jackson, 13 for 18 for 156 yards, 2 TDs, no picks. He did fumble a ball. Josh Johnson came in for one time for 1 for 1. It was just really bad. Now, the person that really destroyed us was Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was 24 for 199 yards for 1 touchdown. And probably about 80 of those yards were right in the first play of their series, the first series for Baltimore. But even Justice Hill, 4 for 18. Lamar Jackson, 6 for 54. It was just bad. And as soon as you thought things were starting to get okay, it just got worse. Nelson Agholor, 2 for 10, but that was a big one right there that he had over the middle. Mark Andrews didn't do anything, but Bateman had 1 for 23. Flowers, 1 for 10. Henry, 3 for 10. Justice Hill, 6 for 78. Isaiah Likely, 1 for 26. Yeah, it was just bad. It was absolutely horrible. The Bills just never had a chance. Even though there was times where you thought they did, it was just bad. But, all right, so let's go through the rest of the games. You had Bengals finally getting on the board. They're now 1-3, 34-24 over the Panthers. You had the Falcons over the Saints, 26-24. You had the Bears over the Rams, 24-18. The Vikings beat out the Packers, 31-29. Texans over the Jaguars, 24-20. Colts beat the Steelers, 27-24. Obviously, I told you about that one. Buccaneers beat the Eagles, 33-16. Commanders beat the Cardinals, 42-14. Niners beat the Patriots, 30-13. Chiefs won again, 17-10, but they maybe without one of their main receivers for possibly a while, in Rashid Rice. We'll find out more about that hopefully today. And then you had Raiders over the Browns, 20-16. And then obviously you got two games tonight: Titans, Dolphins, Seahawks, Lions, for the doubleheader again for Monday Night Football. All right, so I kind of went over the three New York teams, went over the rest of the games. Again, I'm Matt Polizzi. I'm your host. This is Sports Talk New York. Hope you all enjoyed this. See ya.